Hey people, it is Tuesday, October the 11th, 2022, and the time right now is 2:20 p.m. Temperature is 19 degrees Celsius, and today we're going to take a little walk through Church-Wellesley neighborhood, otherwise known as the Village. Don't know where we'll end up.
I believe I have nothing to add to that, so I think Ken pretty much said it all. The other Ken.
Yeah, so we're going to start heading east down Carlton Street here from Yonge and Carlton / College. There's a look north up Yonge Street.
And moments ago, we just witnessed something rather exciting.
Yeah, we saw a shoplifter fleeing the Shoppers Drug Mart store with his hands full of merchandise.
Running as fast as he could.
That's right. Almost mowed us down as he ran past us.
Yeah, it was kind of an experience.
Yeah. Look southbound Yonge.
So this is the second of 3 videos we're filming today together.
That's right. I'll be doing the third one after this. Or no, Action Kid will do. What am I talking about? I'm doing one right now.
I've never been to the Village before.
It's a neat neighborhood. It's usually a bit more lively in the evenings, and especially on weekends.
But that's true of pretty much every neighborhood.
Yeah.
Except for maybe like the universities.
Except for yesterday when it was Thanksgiving and it was dead in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was odd. So much of the city was quiet. Then you'd go to like the Harborfront Center and there'd be a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, and
And
the
then,
Eaton Center and Yonge and Dundas were fairly busy yesterday, I found.
I would say yesterday was busy up until about 5 or 6. And then someone flipped the switch. Did you ever go to the Carlton cinemas, Ken?
I've never been to that cinema. Isn't that strange?
Yes, given that it's so low priced. And they have all like leather reclining seats. It's quite excellent.
I find I often go to the Rainbow Market Cinema in St. Lawrence
Which
instead.
is now also an Imagine, I believe.
Right.
Yep, same concept. What I kind of like about that theater is you don't get cell phone service inside. So you don't have to deal with like the glow of people's phones. After like 5 minutes, people give up. They try to connect to the Wi-Fi at the supermarket upstairs.
I'd say that's a definite plus. Yeah.
It is.
Maybe they do that on purpose.
Like, put your phone down. We're watching a movie
Yep.
in a theater. I don't need to see your glowing screen. I'm just going to rant your entire video. Is that okay, Ken?
This is a Johnny Strides rant video now.
I want to hear Action Kid rant about something.
And me, tourists gawking at everything, right? $3.99 chicken shawarma. This is a good price.
What's that in US, like 3?
Probably like $3 now. It's amazing like how weak the Canadian dollar has gotten since the US dollar.
Somebody picked a good time to come up.
Muhammad Ali fought in that building.
Yeah. And the Beatles played several concerts there.
And Maple Leafs disappointed generations of fans. So after we walk through the village, we're going to end up taking a walk through Cabbagetown, I believe, right?
Yep.
And they actually grew a lot of cabbages there.
They did, yeah.
And Church Street is named after the St. James Church, right?
St. James Cathedral, yep. This is the 3rd version of the St. James Cathedral on the south. There was a great fire in like 1849, and then there was another one. I think it was the 1849 one where the last St. James Church burned down. That was back when we built everything out of wood. Who would have thought everything could burn down all at once? All right, so Is there a crossing?
Watch the poo-poo.
Yep. Step carefully.
So we want to go north of Church?
Yeah, I guess we can just cross right here. The street is blocked off with this track replacement that's been going on for quite a while now.
I think Action Kids noticed our streetcar network is a little bit less than complete right now.
Yep.
Yep, I had to experience that just the other day. But I did get a good walk out of Roncesvalles.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
It's a nice long street to stroll along anyway. All right, so now we're heading north on Church.
As we inhale that smell of hot asphalt.
Yep.
I kind of dig these condos. They're a little bit too Miami in their color scheme, but I like the balconies.
I like this one next door too.
Yep.
Although the retail at the base is not all that interesting. What's that? Fuzz Wax Bar.
Wax bar fuzz.
What doesn't do it for me is the signage.
At least I have a Penguin pickup location close to my apartment now.
So you can go to the newly opened IKEA down the street, order something, and then pick it up there a week later.
Yep.
And we have
There's the
arrived
hair of
at
the
Wood
dog
Street.
across the street. So we're about to enter the southern boundary of the Church-Wellesley village.
And this street takes its last name from a rather controversial figure in the area who had his statue torn down last year.
Alexander Wood, yeah. And this other street up ahead is also named after him too. He gets two streets named after him.
Wow. First name and last.
And what's funny is it was the BIA who got the city to pony up for the statue, and then it was the BIA who were big proponents of taking it down.
Apparently he was a pioneer in the gay community, dating back to the 19th century.
You'll notice the street signs are rainbowized.
That's how you know you're in the village.
What would be the New York equivalent to this?
It'll be the Greenwich Village. So two neighborhoods that are named Village.
Yep.
Greenwich Village and
people just
Church-Wellesley
refer to them
Village.
as the village too,
The village.
right?
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah.
Isn't that where Washington Park is?
That's right.
That's where I went to see some comedy at the Comedy Cellar. Dave Attell was the headliner. And Al Franken headlined the show before.
A neat
There's
marker.
Kind of cool.
Oh, we're going to be walking by Craig's Cookies.
Oh, those are good.
You had
Should
one?
get one. No. I'll get one on camera.
Every time I walk by, when I'm streaming, I have to pop into a Craig's Cookies. And they're nice in there. They'll turn off the music.
Do you want one too? I'll get you one.
I can't say no to a Craig's Cookie.
Okay, let's go. I'll get Ken Continuum one too.
Wow, nice. So here's Alexander Street.
Here's where the statue used to be. You can see the sidewalk block where
Yep.
Oh, wow.
this is where all the bars and restaurants really start up.
Pretty cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Danforth, just a tiny bit.
And Boston too.
Not really Boston.
I think these buildings have a bit more character than what you'll find on Danforth.
So the Flash and Sailor,
What
they're
is this?
two long-standing
What's
bars.
this on the left? like
sure
a
what this
pop-up
is.
restaurant or bar.
Yeah.
This one here, I think this might be the most popular one in the area, and this
Cruise.
building will be redeveloped, Cruise and Tango.
Yeah.
But I think the building owner is working with the tenant to just not erase it. I think they've extended the lease temporarily, and there might be some other arrangements made. Oh, there's a north of Brooklyn pizza shop.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that on your must-try list?
Might be. I don't know.
We've got Woody's, Sailor, Flash, all these places have been here for a long time. Decades. Since the 90s at least.
You could go get a massage above Soy Boys.
I've never tried that place. There's a roadie place underneath it too.
Plant-based? Oh, you are a purveyor of not meat foods, right?
That's true, yeah.
Is that the correct term for it?
It is for this video. Yeah.
I've always liked the look of this pub facing south on Church Street.
Oh, that's cool.
I've put that in numerous thumbnails before.
Sightseeing now with all these gorgeous places.
We are with a tourist who had his first ever New York Fries poutine experience.
Yep, in the Eaton Center.
Let's not give it away in case your Action Kid extra video doesn't post yet. Unless you want to give it away.
No, but I had poutine.
Let's just say he either really liked it or really didn't.
I think we have two sex shops across the street from one another.
And this place is a fake Korean store. It's supposed to be like those minisos, Mumuso. It's really Chinese. But they have KR in the title, just to throw you off.
I wonder what the operators of the Love
Oh,
Shop
there's Craig's
thought.
Cookies.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it is. We'll have to cross.
All right, let's just cross. I'm walking here.
Let's get a Craig's cookie.
Is there music?
Hey.
You
Good.
can always edit.
All right.
Hello.
I will get a eat more. What would you get?
Peppermint patty.
Is there a peanut butter cookie?
PB cup.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's it.
You guys still have a little vlog today?
Yeah. He plugs this place all the time. Craig's cookies.
I go to
977 St. Pierre Togo today. You just gotta press that blue confirm and pay by the
Okay.
You just have your number.
Nice.
Alright.
I'm going to head back outside just in case this music poses a
See if
potential
this
copyright
works.
situation.
All right, it works.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in today.
Okay.
Take your time. I was trying to rush you over.
Thank you.
Take care. Yeah.
Should we make off with his cookies?
Yeah, let's make a run for it.
We never saw him again.
Okay.
Wow, thank
The
you.
legendary
Action Kid.
Craig's cookie.
All right. You know, I've never tried them either.
Okay.
This will be my first time.
And now I don't know which one's which. I think this one was mine. Looked like
Yeah,
it.
that looks like
Yep.
yours. I will get mine out without laying fingers on cans.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I bet when we're watching this video and it shows the most watched parts, this will be the,
Yep.
big peak.
Okay.
Cheers.
Dig in.
Cheers.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's like a meal within a cookie.
This is good. A lot of fudge in here.
It melts in the mouth. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I love the consistency of the cookie too.
They're very, very heavy, but they're also delicious. Like really, you could cut this in 4 and have like...
Yeah. One of the best cookies I've ever had.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
You just have to not remind yourself how much you paid for it.
Lou Gourmand on Spadina, just south of Queen, is also really good. I have had their cookies before.
Well, I pay with my strong U.S. dollar, so it's not as much hit to me, but.
There's a Ginger. It's a well-known Vietnamese beef noodle restaurant. I think their best location is up near Yonge and Bloor. I give this cookie a 9.5 out of 10. We gotta leave some room for them to get better, even if it's not possible.
Yeah.
I gave it a 10.
Yeah. That'll hold me till dinner time. And here we are at Church-Wellesley. This is the heart of the village here.
Well, even the pizza's in a rainbow color.
Yeah, this pizza's been here as long as I can remember.
Wellesley Station is just over there, but I believe we'll be walking by at some point.
Yeah, Wellesley Station that way.
After about a block, the village really starts to die down, I think, in terms of its vibrancy.
It's not a very big area when you really think about it.
If I'm not mistaken, this community was mostly on Yonge Street, and then
Migrated,
it
yeah.
shifted this way.
Dead Dog Records.
So I'm just curious, Ken, if you're recording a video and you like have a cough or sneeze attack, do you edit that out later, or do you leave it in for your viewers to?
I usually leave it in.
Had a little bit of a Craig's cookie nut in the back of my throat.
I try to write down the time while I'm walking. I'll pull out my phone and I'll be like, I hope I remember to do this.
I usually just do my best to muffle it. I hold my camera as far away from my face as possible. You know.
It's so hard in the winter when
I know, yeah.
when that nose starts
And
running.
the sniffing, yeah. And in the winter, like you're sniffing every few minutes, you know.
So this is Barbara Hall Park, named after the first elected female mayor of the city.
Yep.
And there's a big AIDS memorial in there as well.
Oh, cool.
I walked through here the other night during my live stream, like at night, and it's a little bit dodgy at night. I had a couple
There's
guys
some dinguses.
say things to me as I was walking past.
Because of the camera, or just?
Yeah, one guy said, people are going to take that phone away from you, you know? And I was just like, oh, yeah, okay.
This place is a cool addition to the area. Stormcrow Manor.
Yep.
I think they have board games and
Sort of like a geek culture bar, right?
it's like the Dungeons and Dragons crowd
Yeah.
in a bar. But it's cool. I like it.
Detroit style pizza.
Ooh, Detroit style pizza.
So this is Gloucester. Do you want to go all the way up to Charles, or do you just want to cut over here?
How far are we now? We're at 19 minutes. Well, let's take one of these streets instead of Charles.
Like
Sure.
Isabella, Gloucester.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Gloucester.
Not Gloucester, no.
There's debate over how to pronounce this street name, but I found a random online reference that said how to pronounce difficult Toronto street names, and this was very clearly Gloucester.
Yeah, let's take Gloucester.
Well, they even have a street like in Massachusetts somewhere, or Boston, and there's Gloucester here.
Charles Street is a neat street. It's mostly lined with tall condo towers. You know, basically those tall buildings you see over there are all on Charles Street.
And Isabella's the next big street south of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a little residential
Yeah,
stroll.
this is a nice sort of more traditional side street in the neighborhood.
And walking west towards the sun, the shade will come in handy.
Yeah. The sun is really coming down now. It's
It is.
baking my face.
So I know Action Kid is usually like several videos ahead.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you have typically on the go?
Usually 2 on the go, usually. And if it's a good day, 3 or 4. But right now I actually have a lot more than that. I've been
Oh,
pretty
good.
busy.
You're
the last-
stocked up.
Yeah.
Johnny needs more.
I do. I might steal this one.
I think I have 5 or 6 on the go right now, so I'm in pretty good shape over the next little while.
You put your feet up a bit.
Yep.
I always do that. Whenever I get ahead, I fall back down to like, oh shit, I need one tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, plenty of times I have none on the go,
Yep.
and I'm like, well, I guess I got to go make a video.
You like your own child support, man.
These are some Cabbagetown-esque homes.
Yeah. It's 19th century row houses.
Got nice front yards.
Yeah, you're paying a pretty penny if you want to buy one of these. A couple million.
How do you pronounce that lane?
Wabinos? Wabinos?
That's how I would say it.
I don't know.
I could live here, right in a building like this. Good location. This one on the left looks really interesting. That's got to be a heritage home.
Is there a plaque?
Yes.
Oh, there is a plaque, yeah.
Heritage building. It doesn't give us any info, but looks like March of 84 or 94 it was designated. That's a neat thing about Toronto. You often see an old building and there'll be a plaque and like a description as to what it was, what happened. This was an old stable. This is the birthplace of Ken Continuum, that sort of thing.
But there's no plaque to tell you what the pronunciation of this street is. It's the same street, they just
Yeah,
named it twice.
it goes in a horseshoe. I think I did a video called like East Side Laneways and I included this.
Is that a laneway house over there? Looks like it. Or just the back of the house fronting onto the next street.
Come on, say it Canadian. Hoose. What's a house?
A house?
Action Kid's gonna go back to New York City and he'll be in a restaurant and be like, hey, where's the washroom, eh?
I gotta head oot and a boot and record some videos.
Yep.
This is a neat little strip of parks. Although the one to the north that connects it to Charles Street is still closed.
Linear Park, yeah.
Plenty of squirrels and pigeons.
I think the subway actually runs underneath it, maybe. Because Wellesley is well off. Yeah, I think the subway runs underneath.
It does.
this
If you
stretch.
look at a map that shows where the line really goes, it does veer.
And that would
off of
explain the
Yonge.
park.
Yep.
I wonder why they chose to do it that way.
It's
Instead of
underneath
downtown.
Yonge through much of downtown. Yeah, I have no. Maybe that was built on like a cut and cover, like they did in Tunnel. Just that little strip. What are your thoughts on this piece of art here, Ken?
I'm not quite sure what to make of it. I guess it's interesting. It catches the eye.
I would rather just plant a big tree there. Like, I can't say I'm a huge fan of this thing. This side of Yonge Street used to be like that side of Yonge Street.
All right, now I'm going to head south down to Wellesley. If you look north though.
Actually, there used to be a luggage store in here called Mr. Cheapy's, where I bought a backpack from once.
Oh yeah?
And there was a Korean restaurant in here. And
Wasn't there a place called the Brownstone Bistro right ahead at that old building on the corner? Or was that back that
I
way?
think, well, one of them used to be Bar Revolve. Yeah, I think that was the Brownstone Bistro there.
Okay. This old historic building on the corner was actually destroyed completely, and then they just rebuilt it.
There's that same guy we saw.
Oh yeah.
Well, we lost a lot of retail there for a RBC and an Aroma. I don't hate the cafe, but all the banks kind of hurt me.
And this used to be the Gasworks.
You can enter the subway right
Oh,
there.
there's a subway station.
This was a live music place called the Gasworks where they had like rock and metal shows and things of that nature. Mike Myers used it in the Wayne's World movie as the name of the venue that they hung out in the movie.
Was it a thing back in the early 90s?
Yeah, Mike Myers went there when he still lived in Toronto. So I guess he thought he'd put it in the Wayne's World movie, give it a little bit of a nod.
I think you should get your next haircut at Hair Story. Right next to Soulicious. I've never noticed that place.
It's going to be a while before I need another haircut.
Gongcha bubble tea is taken over.
Gongcha, yep, all around. This is a restaurant from New York, the Halal Guys. They started off as a food cart near Rockefeller Center. And now it's a big global chain, I see.
Yep.
There used to be a Starbucks on this corner.
Now another coffee place is coming. All right, so we're back at Wellesley. So we're going to start heading east again. The Wellesley
That
on the
new
park.
just over
Yeah,
there.
brand new park beside that condo tower. I did a video just recently checking out the park.
For some reason, I really like this little stretch of Wellesley between here and Church.
It's pretty nice.
It's got a subway station. It's got a fox in the fiddle. There's a historic home. Is that a walkway leading you into a parking lot?
I think it is.
It's got this decorative sign,
Yeah.
and there's. It doesn't look like a walkway, does it?
Looks like an entrance to the parking lot.
Yeah.
Wellesley Station.
There's a map of the whole village here. So technically, the part of Yonge we walked on is usually included as being part of the village area.
Well, we started,
Yeah, we did start a bit
and then we
a
came
bit south
down.
of the village.
You don't need to animate a map now. Dakdoki, Korean fried chicken.
Traveler's Way. So you can walk here back to the street you came from.
Yep, this is a little laneway that'll lead you up to Dundonald's. Unlike New York, we actually have laneways
Yep.
and alleys.
Laneways
You guys
and
have like
alleys.
4.
That's it.
And all the movies just film the same one over and over again.
Yeah.
That blew my mind when I saw a video on YouTube about that.
It's pretty funny.
It's like if you ask anyone around the world what they think of New York, they think of like alleyways and like
Yeah.
dangerous places and like fights happening. And you get this imagery of like Batman and stuff, even though that's a
that's
different
right.
city.
That's how Manhattan achieves such a high population density, because they don't have alleyways. It's basically just more buildings full of people.
Yep.
Even the way they built their brownstones was to like cram as much in there.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's why garbage collection is such a problem, because that was like
It's
an
so
afterthought.
bad. I mean, here they do garbage collection so well. I don't see random trash bags on the side of the street here. I don't think I've even seen one.
Yeah, there are certain days where you will see that.
Garbage day.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing work on the Paul Kane house. Do you think you could live here and make videos full time in this city?
Be interesting. I think I could. I see a lot of people are interested in my Toronto content so far and Niagara Falls.
I think people just like seeing you walk through areas where there's always lots of people on the sidewalks, sounds of sirens and, you know,
big
city
city.
sounds basically, right? That's what
Yeah.
they like.
Well, some viewers are there just for him. Like they would probably watch him walk through a desert. And then there's the people that are there for the city.
Right.
And the YouTube analytics don't tell you that divide, right? You just got to
No.
go to another city and find out. Like when I went to Amsterdam, my first few videos were great. And then after that,
We're back at Church-Wellesley. This time we're going to be walking east along Wellesley.
in towards St. Jamestown and Cabbagetown.
We're continuing walking east along Wellesley.
I like how the drivers make an attempt to pull over here.
Yeah.
I really like this building. I don't know why.
Kind of cool. Yeah, me too.
Like, I'm not sold on the podium, but like, just like the
Cuts a neat profile, like, for this neighborhood.
And I like the red brick over the glass look. We don't have enough of that. I think we need a moratorium on like glass buildings. Let some other colors pop up.
I've noticed that's starting to happen a lot more lately, so that's a good thing.
So I'm currently at 15,000 steps on the day.
Sweet.
We're in for another 30,000 steps. And you'll probably go live at some point later.
We'll see. This is kind of neat. This didn't get developed into any high-rise building at all.
Mm-hmm. Is it a residential building? Or is there offices on the bottom or other uses?
It doesn't look residential.
Certified rental building, rent with confidence, it says.
Yeah, this building doesn't have the best reputation here.
No, it doesn't.
No.
100 Wellesley?
Yeah, I've heard of some unpleasant situations.
But
that
you
the
can rent
tenants
with confidence.
Deal with. Yeah, that's right. Well, the sign says so, so I guess it's a great place to live. So.
I mean, rent with confidence could be rent with confidence that our place is bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am confident in the mediocrity of this experience. Oh, they're going to be cramming some more buildings on this lot.
Yeah, they've been intensifying a lot of these areas with these sort of slab apartments that were built in the 60s with a big grassy area around them. They've been cramming in new buildings lately in those grassy areas.
I don't believe in ghosts, and I think if you do, you're kind of nuts. But over there is an alleged haunted building.
It looks haunted. And look, do you think these payphones work?
I don't hear it. Ugh.
I wouldn't touch it.
I don't hear
That
This
it.
one
one
I
says
think-
out of service.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
not
the date is
surprised.
correct.
The date is correct, all right.
Yeah.
At least something's working on it.
Well, there's the Keg Mansion. Probably the best like chain restaurant I can think of.
I haven't been to the Keg in 20 years.
So based on what you've seen so far, let's say you had to move to Toronto, what neighborhood do you think you'd buy or rent a place in?
It's a good question. I mean, I kind of like those single family, like residential areas, but then again, like that would require a lot of maintenance, especially during the winter.
And money.
Yeah,
A
and
couple
money.
$1 million, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, you know, if I was looking for a realistic perspective, somewhere like within like 30, 40 minutes of downtown via the subway. would be
Within 34
preferable.
minutes, that could have you all the way out Kipling or
Yeah, could work. Or like Parkdale area, Danforth, Midtown.
have you been through the annex yet?
I have.
The,
Well, just on Bloor Street, that's it.
the stretch between Bathurst and Spadina?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be my spot. How about you, Ken?
Well, if money was no object, I'd like to live on an upper floor of a building right in the heart of downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Like on Bay Street.
The St. Regis top floor
Yeah,
penthouse?
Bay Street, even in the financial district.
Yeah.
Like index condos, say, that's a good one, like right on Shepherd and Richmond, you know, that condo there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to live there, sure.
Well, if money was no object, I think I would go for One Bloor West.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the-
you
You
say-
get that view. That
wouldn't
view
say
you
no to
had
that
from,
either.
from the Park Hyatt in Yorkville is spectacular. one of those condos on like Bloor Street there, facing south. I was looking at all the buildings just beside the Park Hyatt. Must have like that same kind of view.
Not Moss Park.
Well, I already live in Moss Park, so
Living the dream.
yeah.
Well, if money was no object, I think we could just buy a bunch of apartments in different cities and we could
Yeah,
come and
that's
go as
right,
we
yeah.
please.
What about Toronto Island?
No, you are. You have to live there a certain percentage of your time every year.
Oh my.
If you have a place there.
That's crazy. How do they do it? Like, you have to take a boat every time you want to leave.
It's so easy to build a land bridge over to the Portlands too. Or even connect it through like a footpath through the airport. But they won't do it.
You know what sucks? If you live on the island and you land with Porter to the airport, you gotta
Go to the land and
You
then
gotta go.
Yeah, I never even realized that. That's true. Well, we're back to Sherbourne Street, where we were on our walk before.
We're about to enter the St. Jamestown neighborhood.
On the left side will be St. Jamestown. On the right side will be Cabbagetown.
Uh-huh.
Another main way to get into Cabbagetown would be to walk along Carlton, where we were.
There's a nice old pre-war apartment building.
Do you think that's a walk-up?
It's hard to tell.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Probably has an elevator.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hike.
Let's look north up Sherbourne. And the Sherbourne bus.
I did not see one. What was that all about?
No idea. Hey, that's like Canada mail truck. Canada Post.
Yep.
Some people still use Canada Post.
The Canadian
Apparently.
version of Newman is driving it.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you say is more popular here? Like UPS, FedEx, Canada Post?
They're all. There's also Purolator, which is a Canadian one I see a lot. I see a fair bit of DHL. I just hate FedEx because they come in the middle of the day, like when I worked, when you're not home,
Yeah.
and then they'll just be like, "We'll try again tomorrow at the same time." It's like if it didn't work in the middle, and then when you're not there, it'll be in some distribution center in
Yeah.
the middle of nowhere.
Have you tried Canpar?
Oh, that's
They're
the
terrible.
worst.
They're the worst. I ordered something, and I checked the tracking the whole time.
Their tracking's broken.
Well, at that time it was somewhat functional, so I knew it was supposed to arrive on a certain day, around a certain time. So to make sure I didn't miss it, I went down to the lobby of my apartment building and I just sat there looking outside waiting for the Canpar truck to show up because I was like, there's no way I'm going to miss this delivery. So the truck shows up. Does the guy get out of the truck or anything? No. He calls my number and says, I stopped by and no one answered, so you can pick up your package at such and such a warehouse out in Etobicoke.
Oh my god.
So I ran out before he drove away, and I was like, dude, you didn't even like try to deliver my package. And then he looked really annoyed that he had to actually get out of his truck and take my package out and give it to me.
Oh my god.
I was like, are you serious, man?
That's such
Good
bad
old
service.
Canpar.
Yeah. So that was quite the story, but anyway.
Someone's bike got stolen. The U-lock
A long
was
time
broken.
ago. There's a thing where some people will gum up your bike lock with like crazy glue.
Oh wow.
And then in the middle of the night they'll come back and get it when they know they have a lot of time.
Well, they'll get their own lock and lock it to your
Yep,
bike.
that's another one. I would just sit there and camp out and call someone to come help me.
Yep.
Yeah, so these apartment buildings on the left are all St. Jamestown. They were built as a way to sort of attract young professionals. But unfortunately, that coincided with like the boom of the suburbs. When a lot of young people, when they were first starting to work professionally and get jobs, all of a sudden the dream was to buy a big house in the suburbs and have a car. So this quickly devolved into, I don't want to say a lower class neighborhood, but essentially that's what happened. And this area picked up a bit of a reputation when that happened.
They started developing in the late 1950s throughout the 60s. This area.
But it was marketed as like a destination.
Here's the outdoor market that was, I mentioned in our previous video, that was similar to the one we saw at the Moss Park Apartments. Or was that the Moss Park? Which one was it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was right along the north side of Queen Street East.
Yeah.
Need to do any shopping?
And you have
And
the
this is a
park with
horrible
the most
grocery store.
pigeons ever.
What's so bad about it?
It's crowded and chaotic, and everyone is miserable inside. The employees and the people shopping.
And the pigeons.
And the pigeons, yeah.
Well, they want to cram 3 more buildings under
Yeah, they're
this.
going to intensify this area even more, even though it's already the most densely populated neighborhood.
Meanwhile,
in
there's
Canada.
single-family detached homes right across the street.
Well, they're row houses, but still.
right.
There's a dead pigeon there.
Detached is the wrong word, but
Oh my gosh.
it's a pigeon
Oh,
party.
that's
Oh,
sad.
no, I didn't
won't
need to
show
see
that
that.
on the camera. But, yeah.
So where are we headed to? Wellesley and Parliament?
Yeah, we'll wrap it up at Parliament.
Do
I
you
love these ones here.
They're nice. I was about to say, do you think a towers in the park development has ever worked?
Well,
Like, it's basically surface parking lots with parks that are almost unusable
yeah.
and giant high. It's like how not to build a community 101.
Yeah, the fact that they've all been reworked to try to make them more integrated with the surrounding areas kind of proves that they weren't very workable.
And it's sad that like Moss Park, Regent Park, were all based on that same principle. Oh, we'll just build a whole bunch of the same thing. And what's sad about Regent Park and Moss Park is they were built as lower cost housing. But they were done so in a way that was almost isolated from the rest of the city. So you end up with this pocket, this like exclusionary pocket where Isabella
see it.
Kemp for mayor. Well,
Interesting.
Gil Penalosa has my vote, but I'm thinking of making that a video, walking to the poll, casting my vote for Gil.
Hey, look, for sale. Big spaces, small prices.
The units in these old buildings are pretty big.
You get the best bang for your buck,
Yeah.
square footage. I live in a bachelor that's bigger than a lot of like junior 1 bedrooms in new condos. Yeah, we have a problem in Toronto where they tend to build studios and 1 bedrooms just because the developer gets more money for the same area because they can sell more units
Yeah.
versus like 2 and 3 bedrooms, which is really what a lot of the city needs, at least if they want people to stay here. Hey, this guy's running for mayor, Tony Luck. Oh, Tony Luck.
There you go. And we've arrived at Parliament Street. So this is where I'm going to wrap up the video. From Southdown Parliament here. I hope you enjoyed the walk with Action Kid and Mr. Johnny Strides, starting at Yonge and Carlton, and we made our way east to Church and up through the Church-Wellesley village, up to Gloucester, then back west to Yonge, south on Yonge to Wellesley, and back along Wellesley eastward all the way here to the edge of Cabbage Town, old Cabbage Town on this side.
Where for some reason the 506 is all the way up here.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
that
a
is
bit of a
strange.
detour.
Yeah. So this is the third part of our
Second part.
second part. My bad, of our three-part.
We've already
collab.
established you're filming the third one as well.
I know, right? So be sure to check out part 1 on Mr. Stride's channel, and then
Third
part 3
of
is
mine.
coming up right after this on Action Kid's channel.
Mine will probably be the last to publish. I'm trying to.
Right. So hope you enjoyed. So leave a comment below and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and also make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store and the recently enabled Super Thanks button right down below. And you can also find me on Instagram under KContinuum, and you can find Johnny Strides under Johnny Strides on Instagram and Action Kid TV on Instagram. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always,
We will continue.
we will continue.
Yes. What they said.